When most people think of HAAS Formula 1 team, you probably think of this guy.
He does not fox-smash my door.
Guenther Steiner. But it's officially been 1 year for HAAS without Steiner at the helm. And although it's been a fairly boring year, they seem to be making some incredible progress over at Formula 1's American team. Today, I wanted to jump into everything you need to know about HAAS Formula 1 team for 2025, including their new driver lineup, their 2024 performance, and my predictions. If you didn't already know, HAAS are America's Formula 1 team, when they're not cosplaying as a Russian team, that is. They're currently competing as MoneyGram HAAS Formula 1 team, and they're established by a NASCAR Cup Series team owner Gene Haas in 2014. They made their Formula 1 debut for the 2016 season, and originally they were the ultimate underdog team, and they had some great performances, like the 2018 Austrian Grand Prix, where they finished in 4th and 5th. But since then, they've been slowly fading down and down to the back of the grid. The team has been in constant money trouble, but they've somehow managed to stay afloat after many sponsorship dramas. First, they had Rich Energy, then they had the Uralkali drama, and currently they seem to be in the clear. The current team principal is Ayao Komatsu, who is only the second team principal for the team. He's replaced Guenther Steiner, who served as team principal since the team's inception until January of 2024. HAAS has had a transformative 2024 season. After finishing dead last the previous year, they managed to rise to the upper midfield by the end of the 2024 season. They finished in 7th with 58 points in the constructors' standings, and it was the team's second highest finish in history. The highlight was easily the team's double points finish in Australia, Austria, and Mexico. Overall, it was a massive step up for the team and an incredible accomplishment. Personally, I'd be ranking what HAAS did in 2024 as one of the best accomplishments of the whole year, besides, of course, what McLaren was doing. But that's for another video. Unfortunately for HAAS though, they also had some struggles. We had the late season disappointment where HAAS lost out for 6th to Alpine in the constructors standings, and we also had those early struggles where HAAS's launch spec car was not quick enough in Bahrain due to their late start on the development. They also had a few upgrades throughout the year which didn't hit as they wanted them to. Now they also had some staff changes in 2024. We had the loss of Guenther Steiner, who's been the boss since their inception, and the promotion of Ayao Komatsu, a new boss. And if you've ever had a new boss, you can know that comes with quite the shake-up. Now, you might be asking, who is Ayao Komatsu? Well, he's a Japanese motorsports engineer with a strong background in vehicle dynamics. He began his Formula 1 career in 2003 with BAR as a tyre engineer, and he later joined Renault Lotus in 2006, becoming Romain Grosjean's race engineer and eventually the chief race engineer in 2015. He joined HAAS in 2016 as trackside engineering director, where he played a key role in developing the team's technical capabilities. Komatsu was then promoted, of course, to team principal for 2024 due to his extensive experience, proven leadership prowess, and overall familiarity with the team. And it all seems to have paid off. Now, we'll get to HAAS without Guenther Steiner in a moment, but beforehand, I did want to discuss the drivers. For 2024, we had Nico Hulkenberg and Kevin Magnussen. Now, Nico Hulkenberg had a solid season with consistent performances throughout. He had some notable performances, mostly with the Austrian and British Grand Prix, and a few smaller challenges throughout the season. Overall though, it was solid. As always, he excelled in qualifying, where he bet out Kevin Magnussen in 16 out of 22 races, and his highest qualifying was 4th at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Without his qualifying performances, HAAS would have likely dropped down in the constructors' standings and not have got as good a season as they did. Genuinely, I think he's been one of the better midfield drivers this season. He finished in 11th in the drivers' standings with 41 points to his name. Almost all of the HAAS points were his. Now, for Kevin Magnussen, it's been a complete polar opposite season. He's had a few highlights of his own, with a 10th place finish at the Australian Grand Prix and contributing to HAAS's double points finishes at the Austrian Grand Prix and the British Grand Prix. However, it's his lowlights of 2024 that drew the most attention, mainly his race ban at the Italian Grand Prix. Now, Magnussen received 2 penalty points for causing a collision, bringing his total to 12 points within 12 months. Triggering an automatic race ban for the subsequent Azerbaijan Grand Prix. He had many subpar moments throughout the season, which other people have already gone through, but overall, he was driving like someone with nothing to lose, which was true. He didn't have a seat for the next season, and he didn't really have much to lose. And to be fair, many of his interesting driving decisions did help Hulkenberg secure points for the team, but it didn't do anything for K-Mag. He concluded the season 15th in the drivers' standings with 16 points to his name, often finding himself trailing Hulkenberg in both qualifying and the race. All of this leading to the announcement that he would transition into a back-end development and test driver role for 2025. And for 2025, HAAS has a brand new driver lineup. They've got Oliver Bearman and Esteban Ocon. Now, Ollie Bearman is joining HAAS for his first full rookie season in Formula 1. He's a 19-year-old Ferrari Academy driver who made an impressive debut in 2024 for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix when he filled in for Carlos Sainz. He became the youngest Formula 1 driver to secure points in their Formula 1 debut at that time. We've also got Esteban Ocon. He's potentially one of the most unlikable drivers in the sport. However, he's joining HAAS after his 5-year stint at Renault Alpine. Ocon does a great job of bringing experience to the team because he's already won a race and he's got several podiums to his name, and hopefully he'll be an actual good addition to HAAS to help them keep climbing up the midfield. Don't get me wrong, he's a decent driver and on his day he can pull out some great performances, but in my eyes he had a bit of a weak 2025 season. I genuinely feel that HAAS might have been better off keeping Hulkenberg for 2025. Bearman is a solid rookie, so you never really know what to expect for a full season, and I think that he could have learned a lot with Hulkenberg next to him more so than Ocon. What we do know, however, is that HAAS has been incredible in 2024 in their first full year without Guenther Steiner. Under the rule of Ayao Komatsu, the team has been consistent, they've shown great signs of improvement, and they've even become financially independent from their owner for the first time in HAAS's history. HAAS announced a significant shift in their financial independence. Their founder, Gene Haas, no longer needs to inject personal funds into the team for the first time. Haas has been operating at the Formula 1 budget cap level and not below it, and the team's valuation has increased to over $1 billion in 2024, a substantial increase from what I think was reported at something like $80 million in 2023. Though still, they are clearly the least valuable team in the sport at the moment. Haas is currently generating more value and revenue than Williams. Back to their performance, HAAS was 9th in 2019, 9th in 2020, 10th in 2021, and 8th in 2022, before finishing 10th again in 2023. It's safe to say they haven't been doing too well, which makes Ayao Komatsu's first full year with the team all the more impressive. By focusing on his unique leadership style, he's led the team to push for financial and operational independence from Ferrari. Under his guidance, HAAS started developing a more self-sufficient model by rejecting key Ferrari-supplied components, for example, the suspension for the 2025 car, and he's instead been focusing on in-house development. Komatsu also facilitated HAAS's collaboration with Toyota, enabling access to technical expertise and Toyota's vast resources. This partnership aims to reduce their reliance on their outside suppliers like Dallara and Ferrari, whilst also preparing HAAS for exponential growth into a works team and even maybe getting to the front of the grid. Komatsu has prioritized their internal promotions as well, and he's also made some strategic hires from other teams, including bringing in personnel from Toyota as well as Audi's Dakar operations. This has ensured the team's leadership and engineering teams were aligned with his vision for long-term growth. He's also implemented plans for improving the team's infrastructure as well as their cultural and operations as a team, shifting for independence. He's built a strong foundation for ongoing improvement to the future, and we can clearly see his vision for what he wants down the track. Now, onto my personal expectations. I am genuinely expecting HAAS to be aiming for a higher finish again in 2025. I'm expecting them to finish 6th in the Constructors' Championship. However, the primary focus is still clearly on rebuilding and reshaping the team, their infrastructure, and their strengths to align with the huge changes that are coming in 2026. Their collaboration with Toyota is monumental, and their shift towards self-sufficiency are critical for their long-term success, hinting that 2025 is going to be a year of steady progress for the team rather than that of breakout performances. However, their close competitors RB are more so looking towards 2026 and onwards rather than 2025. So if you're curious about what RB is up to in 2025, watch my video on screen now and subscribe for more Formula 1.